According to CNN, Douglas Bader lost both of his legs after a flying accident on December 14, 1931. At the time, he was an RAF aerobatic pilot flying a Bristol Bulldog biplane. He attempted A. from his prosthetics and to participate in rehabilitation sessions with doctors. Within just 6 months after the tragic crash, Bader was standing again on his tin legs. He could drive a car and even dance. He also proved that he could still fly an airplane. However, the RAF Medical Board declared him unfit for flying duty. Bader then found employment with an Asian oil company that would later become the Shell Corporation. When World War II loomed over Europe in 1939, Bader petitioned to rejoin the RAF as a combat pilot. He was eager and confident that the RAF would need him. He was right. On September 3, 1939, Britain declared war on Nazi Germany. 5 months later, Bader was flying the legendary Supermarine Spitfire fighter. In early June 1939, Bader achieved his first aerial victory by shooting down a German aircraft over France. Within weeks, he was appointed commander of No. 242 Squadron, a unit made up mostly of Canadian pilots sent to France. The squadron was in disarray after retreating hastily back to Britain, and its morale was low. Reorganizing No. 242 was the perfect task for Bader. He immediately rebuilt the unit, emphasizing discipline, teamwork, flying skill, and confidence. His determination paid off. On August 30th, the squadron shot down 12 German planes, with Bader personally accounting for 2. Soon No. 242 became one of the most respected units in the RAF. During the Battle of Britain, the RAF successfully repelled the Luftwaffe, thwarting Hitler's invasion plans by denying Germany control of the skies. Bader emerged as one of the heroes of that decisive air campaign. By the end of 1940, his squadron had destroyed 67 enemy aircraft while losing only 5 pilots. During this period, Bader developed his famous big wing theory, in which several squadrons would take off together, form a massive formation, and attack the enemy simultaneously. Though controversial and opposed by some senior officers, the tactic brought battlefield success and cemented Bader's reputation as both a fearless leader and a national hero. In the spring of 1941, the RAF launched daytime bombing raids over occupied Europe. Bader's Spitfire and other fighters escorted bombers and engaged German aircraft when they appeared. On August 8, 1941, Bader's plane was shot down over France during one of these missions. Initial reports claimed he had collided with an enemy aircraft, but later investigations suggested he may have been accidentally hit by friendly fire. Bader miraculously survived the crash thanks, in part, to his prosthetic legs. His right leg became caught in the Spitfire after it was hit. He later recalled, "My right leg was no longer attached to me. The leather strap that fastened it had snapped, and the leg, the Spitfire, and I all went our separate ways." On the ground, the legless pilot was captured by German forces. His flying war was over. He was now a prisoner of war. The Germans recovered his right leg from the wreckage, repaired it, and refitted it for him in a POW hospital in occupied France. That proved to be a mistake. Bader immediately began plotting his escape. He tied bed sheets together to climb out of the hospital window and fled into a nearby village with help from the French resistance. However, Bader was too valuable a prisoner for the Germans to lose. He was soon recaptured at the home of a local family who had sheltered him. Even in captivity, Bader used his prosthetic legs to dig tunnels and hide food brought by sympathetic locals. During his imprisonment, Bader befriended one of his captors, Adolf Galland, a renowned German fighter ace who later became his lifelong friend. Through the International Red Cross, Galland arranged for a replacement prosthetic leg to be airdropped to Bader. Eventually, the Germans grew tired of Bader's repeated escape attempts and transferred him to Colditz Castle, a high-security fortress for troublesome Allied prisoners. He remained there until American forces liberated Colditz in 1945. By the war's end, Douglas Bader had become a legend in Britain, credited with shooting down 22 enemy aircraft. He ranked fifth among RAF fighter aces for confirmed kills. After the war, Bader was chosen to lead a formation of 300 aircraft during a flight past commemorating the Battle of Britain over London. A year later, he left the RAF, returning to Shell to fly company aircraft before eventually managing the firm's aviation division. Bader used his fame to inspire and support others, devoting himself to charitable causes. He wrote letters to amputees, visited hospitals, and personally encouraged people who had lost limbs. He often said, "Don't listen to anyone who tells you that you can't do this or that. Never let them convince you that something is too difficult or impossible." In recognition of his dedication to people with disabilities, Queen Elizabeth II knighted Douglas Bader in 1976. He died of a heart attack in 1982, but his legacy as *, the man who wouldn't stay down, *,